Hi guys, Artiar here. So for today's video, we'll be going through how do you build Raymerry. So Raymerry is currently one of the most popular picks in the PvP content and also in PvE as well if you already have Raymerry, right? But there's a lot of different kind of way to actually build her. Like if you're a T1 player or T2 player, Raymerry can be fit into both playstyle. Alright, so today's video I'll be going through how you should actually build Raymerry in my own opinion. So first thing, in terms of PvE wise, there's not really a fixed build for her. If you check out in Tormenton or Doki Doki or Aurora, they have their own build way, right? To be honest, you can actually build her in any kind of way. You want to build her with full DPS, you want to build her with like tankiness, it's fine. So if we take a look like this one here, 100% win rate, right? And then we take a look at Raymerry here. You can see this Raymerry is built like very random with Keen Eye, Bramble, and Ether Plague with Ouroboros. And then if you don't want, you can also build with the most classic one, which is like the Ember, Bloodbath, Bramble, all this kind of different build. And then we can take a look at this one as well. Then this one is a Keen Eye Bramble build. So why there's so many kind of different build for Raymerry in PvE? Because they're usually using Raymerry just for a follow-up attack. Like you always use her as a sub DPS instead of a main DPS. Like you can see there's a Lilium here as a main DPS, then Raymerry here as a sub DPS with the passive to follow up the AoE damage to actually turn meter down them and also do damage. So Raymerry doesn't have a really fixed set in PvE, just build whatever you want, or you like can just go full out DPS. Like for example in Doki Doki here, Raymerry is also pretty good as well. Can take a look here, this one Raymerry here. This is a momentum for Raymerry with a sword 7, because the Doki Doki here you're gonna use like Nahor or use like the other CC you need to CC the enemy, right? And then use Raymerry to follow up damage. Or you can look at this one here as well. This one is going for Bloodbath, for Bulwark, and for Age. If we take a look at the next one, we're gonna have like Bramble, Bloodbath. So if you use like the tanky build of Raymerry, it's more like using as a sub DPS. And then you can see the first thing here is this Raymerry is the main DPS, so it's going for full out DPS build with sword 7. So for PvE, depends on the content. You want to go for tankiness or you want to go for DPS, both works. Alright, but now I'm going to show you in terms of PvP, I'm also using Raymerry pretty often as well. For example, in Fearless Arena. Like for example, in Fearless Arena here, I also use her a lot in my Cleave team as well. Like this is the draft I went for, and then they banned my Raymerry. And if I have the first pick, I will pick Raymerry as well. So I have a double DPS here, and then I have like my other supporter for my pusher, and we can take a look here with another Raymerry build. So Raymerry is also very often used in no matter in Fearless, no matter Summit or Etheria. Basically every single PvP content you will see Raymerry. Okay, but then if you are turn 1 player, you probably want to build Raymerry in a full out DPS, but to be honest, you want to build Raymerry with Ember tanky, it also works, right? So let me show you my Raymerry. So this is the Raymerry I'm currently using in my Fearless Arena. I'm using in RTA, but most of the time RTA actually pre-ban Raymerry, depends on situation. But if I really use Raymerry, this is the build I often use. It's more towards for the turn 1 player. When you want to go all out DPS on Raymerry, then this is the build you want to go for. I don't really encourage this build, is because you probably want to build Ember is actually the best shell instead of Tiger Yin. Why am I not using Ember? Because the Ember is currently used on Tiamat, right? So the Tiger Yin build is something like this. So in terms of stats, we can take a look here. It's a 100% crit rate Raymerry, and then with crit damage here is 351, and then a decent amount of attack, but attack here doesn't matter. Mainly you want a HP. So what my Raymerry does is using Harvest to actually ignore part of their defense, and then going for Keen Eye to get the crit damage bonus, and then with Furry Age to get more crit and more crit damage. I'm probably still playing around, but for now I actually pretty like this build, because if I manage to kill someone, then I can use the Raymerry to follow up damage. But I'm still considering like, should I use the Harvest set or should I use the Foray set? Because if I go for Foray set, right, I can basically get a little bit more crit damage here, 12% for the damage result instead of defense ignore. I'm still debating I should go for Harvest or not, or Foray, but for now this is the build I'm going for Raymerry. And in terms of substats, you've noticed that I mainly focus on crit rate because you want to go for her for 100% crit rate, and also HP bonus as well, because all her damage here is actually scaling with HP bonus. So I go for a little bit of effect accuracy because I want my Raymerry to actually steal the enemy turn meter as well, so I can actually turn meter down the enemy, and then I can have a better synergize for my whole team loop. I'm going for crit rate, crit damage, and crit damage. I'm not going for any HP bonus at all. Then this is my Raymerry. And then in terms of my prowess, this one, mine is P1. And then the skill up here is 155. I'll be going through the Lattice investment as well later. Then in terms of shell, this is my shell. I'm going for Tiger Yin, Harvest, and Forage. So if I want to go for Foray, then probably I need to rebuild a new Tiger Yin. Then it's going for HP bonus, crit damage, and constant damage for my Tiger Yin. So for now, my Raymerry is currently like this. This is for the DPS Raymerry. Then the other kind of Raymerry is the most common or the most famous kind of build, which is going to be something like this. But keep note, you want to actually tune a little bit to get the 100% crit rate, because for now, my Raymerry here is only 90% crit rate. But because this build here is actually for my Tiamat. This is actually my blood buff Tiamat build, but then the Ember, I got only one Ember that's actually Bramble blood buff Swiss Might, so I'm using on Tiamat currently. I will change my Tiger Yin build into Ember. If I actually get another Ember with Bramble blood buff Swiss Might, then I might actually build for another Bruiser Raymerry, because the DPS is actually good enough as well to as a follow-up damage, right? Then currently Bramble for the counter attack, because your S1 can actually stun, blood buff as usual for the tankiness, and then Swiss Might here to get a little bit more speed and effect accuracy, so you can have a better chance to steal the enemy turn meter bar. And then the stats wise is just basically whatever my Tiamat is running currently. Then I'm going for crit rate, HP bonus, and HP bonus, because this is for my Tiamat build. I'm going for HP, right? Then you can actually go for crit rate, crit damage here if you want. For Raymerry, for example, you can go for like this, blood buff, and then crit damage, and then go for crit rate. Yeah, I go something like this. Then I need to enhance it to actually go for it, right? But for now, this is the two build I'm actually going for. Time to time, I will actually switch my Raymerry. For example, in going for GVG, then I will use my Raymerry to equip on Tiamat build. Then I put it inside my GVG defense. Then in terms of shell, is same like what my Tiamat have currently. Is HP, speed, and this is the blue damage, right? This is for Tiamat. But if I get another one of Ember, then I'm able to put it on Raymerry as well. Okay, then in terms of Lattice investment, I'm not sure how other players actually Lattice their Raymerry, but for me, my list was actually going for the passive first, because I want the passive to actually reduce as many as possible, so I can actually get the Torment stack a lot more easier, and not to mention the additional damage on Torment. Then after the S2 is up, then I will going for AoE, which is the S3, because in terms of prowess here, your S2, what's that called? Your S2, the passive prowess here gives you additional crit rate, which gives a lot of thing and easier for you to build a Raymerry. Then after my S2, I'm going for my S3, because that's where the main DPS output is, right? So I went for the max S3 because I want the action steal to be more, and then also the DPS output as well based on her HP, and then also the HP bonus here. So for Lattice, I will say go for S2 first, then S3, then S1 in my opinion is actually the final, because I don't think Raymerry actually needs the speed, so I don't think it's really that important to actually go for. But if you're the Lattice, definitely go max her, right? But in terms of Lattice, I don't really want to invest too much on her, so I don't think the speed is very important on her, because she doesn't need the speed contest. She can just nuke the enemy without taking a turn from the S3, so I'm not going to invest on the S1 currently. I want to save for future unit. And then the S1 here, if you really want to go for S1, you also need to go for max, which is level 5, because you want the S1 here to have another effect which defeated by this skill cannot trigger any death prevention and cannot be revived. But keep note, your S1 even without skill up, you will still get this terminate effect. Okay, so whenever you do damage and then their HP is below than 15%, the terminate effect is already built into the S1. So without the the level 5 here is also okay for most of the time, and I don't really think that I needed the speed on Raymerry, and I don't really need the attack stats on Raymerry as well. So That's one of the reasons why I'm not going for the S1 currently. And then in terms of speed, I don't think it's that important. So currently my Raymerry is 155, but if you have the Lattice investment, you can go for the S1 as well to get the additional damage, and also the chance of getting stun is actually pretty important because you can apply stun from the S1, and this effect here is also very good. But I want to save my Lattice for future unit and see whoever fits into my playstyle more. But now this is currently how I play my Raymerry. And let me show you some of the clip I actually play her as well. Okay, for example, this one here, they ban my Tsukuyomi, then I have my Messiah as the main DPS, then also Raymerry for the follow-up DPS as well. And this enemy build is going for defense. I have no idea why they did not ban my Messiah, but we can take a look here. My Freya will take the action and then I keep on turn meter push, slowly push up my unit and let the Messiah kill the team. Alright, so Freya here turn meter push and also turn meter down the enemy as well by applying debuff. Alright, push them down, and then I plume here to apply the debuff and also able to push them down as well because of the debuff and Freya effect. Then enemy Doki push up the team is totally fine because I have the plume here to keep Terminator push my other unit so Messiah can cut in after all the action. So Sanya heal them back. Okay, then I cut in, plume do some damage, and then Messiah takes the turn. After Messiah takes the turn, then Raymerry here will do a follow-up damage to actually nuke them down. Yeah, something like this. Right, so she's just acting as a sub DPS to follow up. Then another one will be something like this my other buffer, right? Then they ban away my Rosa, they leave my Tsukuyomi here. But then because enemy is also a cleave team, then my Raymerry damage is actually good enough to actually just cleave the enemy as well. Alright, so Tsukuyomi buff up Raymerry instantly. Right, Raymerry takes a turn, then apply its S3 AoE damage. Very good damage against the enemy. And then Freya just follow up and finish the team. Yeah, because Dark Moon triggers Raymerry and Raymerry trigger another S3 and just nuke them down. Right, so this kind of Raymerry is more towards for the team turn 1 player. If you are a turn 2 player like Bruiser playstyle, you probably don't really want to build Raymerry with Taigin. The Amber one is actually the best one to go for. Alright, so hope this video actually help you guys out if you are still confused like how should you build for Raymerry. To be honest, it's all about your playstyle. You want to go for a tanky Raymerry that can actually have survival but a little bit lower DPS, or you want to go full out DPS but no longer have a second life like Tiger Yin. But if you are like a turn 1 player like me that you really want to take control, all the speed, all the action at the start of the combat, then Raymerry doesn't need to go Amber as is also okay because you're doing all the DPS at the start, right? So yeah, feel free to comment down what you guys think about it, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.